Alright, so I'm gonna cut this out. I'm gonna try to save that lip to weld to, because the lip here is actually good. If I don't have to make it, all the better for me, right? So I'm gonna get a small cutting wheel and go over probably to here. That I can just hit with a welder and fill it with weld and grind it down, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to try this little rust repair. It's pretty rough. Somebody backfilled that. That's not even metal. I'm not even sure what that is, but crap in there. It might be factory undercoat. But anyway, I'm going to cut that out. Try to make a little patch. Alright, so I got that cut somewhat. You can see how this is. You can see how bad it is under there. I'm not sure what this stuff is. These cars come with this stuff in here. That's just all mud. I think that's all mud from the back tires. Look at that. Wow. I'm pretty sure that's just mud. I thought it was an undercoating or something, but I'll have to get the vacuum in here. Yeah. Wow. A lot of muck in there. Air hose maybe, blow it out and something. Wow. Well, this ain't no California car, that's for sure. She's rough. I've already done all floors. If you watch my other videos, got a bunch of floors in this car already, stuff like that. Wow, look at that. Look at that pile of crap that came out of that one little hole. It's unbelievable. So anyway, I guess I gotta cut this out because that's pretty rough. So let me do that. I'll have to somehow get the grinder, go a little deeper there. Alright, so I started cleaning that up. Hit this with a wire wheel. It's pretty thin too. I guess for the sake of it, I might as well take the wheel lip. Doesn't start till up here. So I think for the sake of it, I'm just gonna take the patch up there. It's only another 2 inches. And weld that in. But sort of wire wheeling in here. So this was all mud. I thought that was rusty metal in there, but it was, again, like, look at that. Pile of mud out of that little hole. Pretty crazy. Hey, those back wheels just kick up that mud right up into there, I guess. So I'm gonna trim that out a little further and I'll make a patch. Alright. So there's that piece. I guess I could have, it's not that thin there. I guess I could have plug welded those, but anyway, more mud. More mud. The mud in this thing. It's unbelievable. Alright. What you get for living in the country, I guess. This car spent most of its life out in the country area. So I'm going to wire wheel that up a bit. I'll try to make a patch. Alright, so I have this piece of 18 gauge. And this is essentially our patch. Cut it out in 2 pieces, but essentially that's our patch. Of course, there should be a little I'm going to make it a little bigger so I can grind it to size, because there is a blade width missing here, obviously, where I cut it. Always got to make, oh, the marker's not working. Find another marker. Just got this. I like using these big ones, but that's all I can find at the moment. So that looks about right there. Right about there is what we're looking at, I think. So Take that off. Now it does have a bit of a curve to it, obviously you can tell, so we'll have to put that shape back in it instead of a crown. So yeah, let's cut that out. Alright, I got this handy dandy shear from Princess Auto. I guess you guys don't have, people in the States, I guess, in other countries may not have it. I think Princess Auto is mainly Canadian. But man, it works really well. Harbor Freight, I guess you guys have up there in the States. I'm not sure where other countries. I hear lots of good things about Harbor Freight, never been. But I hear lots of great things about it. It's almost, I guess it's like our Princess Auto, but on steroids. See how well that cuts? I put a little curve in that already over my knee, but this thing kind of straightens it back out. But that's okay. Let's go over and see if we can match this up a little better. So I made this old pipe anvil. You can see it's just a couple pieces of pipe welded to a tank, made a stand. This is an invention by the late great Gene Winfield. Yeah, that was his invention. He made this thing years ago to get going on some of his projects, and everybody I know has kind of copied it. So it works pretty good. You can definitely overbend, but yeah, you just kind of put your piece in where you want it. Gives it a nice little, can you see that? Nice little curve, both sides. Let's take that over and see if it fits. Alright. Alright, so you can see the curve. That crown is actually pretty bang on. So that's good. What I might do is I might try to cut and butt it here. Fits pretty well, pretty good on these, on this side. It's pretty good at the top on this side. So I might try to cut and butt it. Gotta clean out that, round off this corner a bit. If I can get it tacked in this corner flush here, like that, throw a few tacks, and then I can run the blade through here where I'm going to weld it. I will take a little more off this edge before I start, because so I can see the end of this here, because it does overlap it and I don't want to actually cut through it. But yeah, so let's try that. Alright, so there's my little patch. I sanded it. I don't have any weld through primer, but I don't like leaving the back side of that. I want to get it tacked in today. So I got this, I don't know, Rustoleum ultra cover stuff. Better than nothing for today, I guess. It's a flat finish. It's obviously not weld through, so I'm not doing the other side. But I will hit in here. It's not rust reformer. I know I don't have the right material. This is just a... have to grind that off where I sprayed, but just to get a little more coverage than it had. And I'll probably spray some oil up in there as well. It's just to give it a little more protection than just bare metal back there where the wheel obviously sprays up. You see all that mud that was in there, right? So something, you know. So yeah, this isn't obviously not a high dollar build car, but it's just going to be a put around car for me. So I'm going to patch up those holes. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the Rustoleum on it yet. I've heard mixed things about it. I've been told these are polyurethane bumpers. I've been told you have to buy a special fill for these, because I had to grind down the cracks to get rid of some of the cracks. But I put some bonding or fiberglass fill on there and sanded it off there, and it came out. It's holding, sticking. So I don't know. We'll see. That's what it looked like before I sanded, after I sanded. So it did take away the divot where it was. Now I got tons of cracks on this thing. I don't know how far I'm going to go with it. Grinding those out and filling them, I guess, the best I can. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be a cheap runaround car. This is definitely not a high dollar car. But anyway, that's when that patch dries, we'll get that tacked in there. All right, so I painted in there best I could and ground down some stuff. Overspray on the outside here so I can get some adhesion with the weld, some sticking. Now I think I'm just gonna tack that. I was gonna clamp it. I think I'll tack it, and then I can. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna tack it, and then I can play with the patch as I go. There's a bit of a gap, but that's good for penetration, I think. And get the welder turned on. I mean, sometimes the hardest thing is trying to get a ground on these things. So I got a good ground there, I think. I think it's trying to give us a quick tack. I got the wrong wire in here. This is a 035, it's a really thick wire. All right. So that's nice and flush there. It's a little warm, obviously. It could be bent in a bit, I think. It's okay. A little hammer, give it a little tap. Alright, I moved the ground clamp because I didn't like the way it was sitting there, but that should probably sit more like that right there. So what I'll do is just give a little push in like that, make sure the levels, both surfaces are level. Little tack. And there we go. So now I'm going to take the grinder, I'm going to cut through here so I can start butting this into here. So when you do that, it kind of gives you a really nice, you know, really clean cut. It's going to be hot to touch. Oh, that's perfect. All right, so let me try to get in here. It's hard to do it and film everything at the same time. Cords going everywhere. But we'll try. Let's see what we can do here. So I'm going to run the grinder down here. I'm going to try to save some of this lip to weld to. That's why I'm kind of doing it this way. So let me see what I can do. Now the idea is you can push that in level with the body, just like that, and then you get a nice weld on it, nice flush weld. This one's kind of sticking a bit still, so I'm going to give it a There we go. Perfect. So I just went in on a bit of an angle there to get out whatever was stuck behind it, and now it's perfect. So, like I said, this wire is too big. I'm just going to tackle with this, and then I'm going to have to get some wire to finish this up. But, get myself a light going there. But I don't know if you guys have welded a lot, but it's hard to weld. It's dark. You can't see anything. for sure. That's fine. Yeah, that's really nice. Patch is going in really nice actually. So with the thicker wire, you just want to tap it, drop some wire like that, and give it a beat, and give it another one. But that's going in really nice. I'm really happy with that. So now, I'll work my way down the edge. Move my light over. Drop bead dropped in my hand there. It's never good. Yeah, it's going in really nicely. So now I got to do it across the bottom as well. Cutting butt a little bit here on the edge as well. Let's see. Let's see. Move your side a bit there. Run this grinder down. Different angle on that. This way will work way better. That's nice. My tripod doesn't go any lower than this, so I'm not going to be able to show you how I'm doing the bottom, but I will be doing the bottom. So let me get another couple of tacks on this. But you get the drift of what I'm doing here. It's pretty self-explanatory, I think. Paint on the back catching on fire a bit when I painted it there, but that's okay. Now I'm going to run the B. I'm going to run this across the bottom. I have to move this ground clamp. Start cutting along the bottom here. See where I match up. Can't really see. I can't take you down there with me. It's hard. I'm trying to get in, keep the camera on here. It's hard for me to get in there. That's why the grinder's going all funny. But trying to do it blindly so I can keep the camera in there. But what can you do? I'm gonna keep a little pressure on this. Not so much, not that much. I'm gonna tap that actually because it's nice. Give that a tack. Little move. Oof. There we go. That won't move, and then I can try. Tap with the hammer. More mud coming out. Man, it never ends. tack on that side. Get that in there, yep. Pretty good tack there. And once you get some tacks on it, start holding it, then you can get it, you can manipulate the metal better. There you go. So I'm going to slice through there. And I'm going to pause you for a second while I do it because the camera's right in the way. Or I can maybe move you this side. I'll move you to this side if that's any better. I don't know. And then I'll try to get in under there. Make it easier on myself. And I'll slice and dice here if I can. No, it's still in the way. I'm going to pause. Alright. So I got that bottom cut and butt. And now, I was going to just tack this, but... Alright, so I think I'm going to try to do this wire. This is an 035, it's pretty heavy, but... What you want to do is space out your tacks all the way around so you don't overheat this panel. One tack at a time. I'm not a welder, obviously. Just a hobbyist here, so don't, this is just my opinion on how to do this. So yeah. It's not a tutorial for sure. Yeah, just keep going around. Space out the tacks. As not to overheat the panel. Until you have one continuous bead. Some people use compressed air as they go around, I guess, to cool it off. But, I don't know. There's not a lot of warpage that's going to happen in this curvy panel here anyway, especially with this corner that holds it tight, I wouldn't think. But, better safe than sorry. I would definitely not bead weld it. I think actually what you're supposed to do is when you start the next weld, you're supposed to start on the weld there to give you the most strength. Don't burn through kind of thing, especially with this wire. Like you want to add to that weld. See? For some reason my welder gets really chippy like that sometimes. I don't know if it's a bad ground or my ground's loose or some kind of dirty, I don't know. It does that. Spatters a lot. Sometimes it doesn't. Dirty, I guess. I don't know. We didn't do that time. Let's clean out my tip here, maybe. Anywho, you get the drift of what I'm doing, so I'm gonna finish that up, and I'll come back when I'm do some grinding on it, and I'll let you see.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Alright, so there's my patch. It's pretty good. I gotta grind down a little bit more, but there's gonna be you know, you're gonna have to put filler regardless of whatever. I can't get in here to flatten this with the grinder. It's pretty good right now, but I got to take it down a little more. The grinder is hitting the wheel. Got to take the wheel off. But overall, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, that's got to go down a little bit more. I was saying you got to hold the grinder flat, which isn't correct really. You can take the edge of it and grind these down a little bit below, you know, without hitting the metal. I did hit the metal a bit there as I was going around. As soon as I started hitting it, I stopped. But then you can take the grinder and grind down these a little bit more, just so you have room for your filler to go in there. That's what I do. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but that's what I do. I'm going to fiberglass it, and then I'll bond to it on top of that. But anyway, that's how I do a patch. A little bit more finessing there, but you get the gist of it. It doesn't look too bad to me. I see some guys will make these welds completely disappear. Those are metal magicians, I guess. You know, you can zip cut around, make yourself a nice gap, fill those gaps, and then get this almost perfectly. But I'm not into perfectly done, so this is perfectly fine for me. So yeah, anyway, that's my little tutorial. Not tutorial, that's my way of doing it. Broke my mirror, for freak's sakes. But anyway, I got some more patches. I don't know if I'm going to take this door off. I got a patch on the fender, patch on the door, and maybe that right behind the door on the quarter. I don't know. See how far we get into that. But overall, it's just a little bit around the bottom of the car that's bad. Overall, it's not horrible. But I'm happy with that patch. Like, comment, subscribe, all that business. You know what to do. If you like what you're seeing and you like the content, and you know, yeah, I appreciate everybody watching, and I appreciate everybody commenting and liking and subscribing and all that good stuff. So that's it for me for today. I hope everybody's having a safe day out there and enjoying yourselves. All right, ciao for now.